Hello friends, and welcome to a brand new camera comparison between the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 and its predecessor, the Z Flip 5. Right now we are recording at 4K at 30 frames per second. Tell me in the comment section below which one do you think has better colors and which one has a better audio.
As usual, let's begin with some samples captured using their main cameras. Every daylight picture is taken in auto mode with the scene optimizer enabled, while other beauty or AI features are turned off. Additionally, no editing is done afterward to ensure authenticity. The new Flip 6 features a 50-megapixel camera, a significant upgrade from the 12-megapixel camera on its predecessor. With landscape photos like this one, the improvements are noticeable, revealing more detail and clarity. The Flip 6 captures pictures with enhanced vibrancy and more appealing sky colors. Samsung's processing remains similar in both models, though there are some small improvements in this latest version. In this example, we can see that the photo taken with the older Flip 5 is brighter, but the flowers appear somewhat washed out. In contrast, the Flip 6 handles the bright colors of the sky and the flowers much better, providing a more accurate representation. Both devices are also equipped with ultra-wide cameras. In this particular sample, the Z Flip 5 actually looks better. The Flip 6 lost quite a bit of quality, especially with the sky, which appears less clear and vibrant. In the next sample, the Flip 6 manages to make a comeback by delivering a slightly better picture compared to its predecessor. While the older model produces a brighter image, the overall picture appears cleaner on the new device. The first ultra-wide sample was somewhat of an anomaly, as it was the only instance where the Flip 6 underperformed compared to the Flip 5. Some features remain reliable across shots. Firstly, the Flip 5 consistently produces brighter images compared to the Flip 6. Secondly, the sky tends to appear somewhat washed out on the older model, whereas the new device handles it better. When taking pictures at 2x, we observe that both devices have similar processing. In this particular sample, both images look almost identical, but to my eyes, the newer Flip 6 appears to be slightly sharper. There were samples, like this one, where the older model surprisingly appears more vivid, while the new model, although brighter, doesn't look as appealing. The sky rendition, for the most part, seems superior on the Z Flip 6, while the greenery remains very similar between the two. In this other sample, I was surprised by the results. The new sensor of the Z Flip 6 really excelled here, and the difference compared to the older Z Flip 5 is quite noticeable. Let's take a look at some portraits now. In this first sample, we can see that both are very similar, but as always, there are some differences. The Flip 5 made my face appear too warm and my clothes too bright, while the Flip 6 is more accurate, though it still doesn't perfectly represent the scene exactly as it was in real life. In this other sample, my hair on the Z Flip 5 is a mess, while most of my hair stripes are well separated on the newer Flip 6. Also, the background is way too oversaturated on the older device, that's why I still preferred the Flip 6. When it comes to selfies, we can see that the Flip 6 is once again a bit more color accurate compared to the Flip 5, which made my face look too warm. Other than that, both pictures are very sharp, preserving most of my facial details. The Flip 6 typically produces brighter images, as shown here where my hair is more visible. The dynamic range seems to be identical between them, but personally, I don't think these cameras are class-leading. When recording with their ultra-wide cameras, we can see that both devices have exceptional stabilization and superb dynamic range. I noticed, however, that on the Z Flip 6 the greenery and dark areas are enhanced to be more visible. Personally, I like this change since the leaves are better preserved while on the Flip 5, they are a bit messy. The new model is also a tad bit sharper. We have similar results even when we record with their ultra-wide cameras. The Flip 6 continues to enhance darker areas and the trees. On the other hand, the sky is the same, but when we switch the focus on the building, we can see it is a bit overexposed on the newer model. Truth be told, these are small differences, and both devices are great at video recording. Moving to low light, where all pictures from this point are taken with night mode enabled. In this first case, we can clearly see that my face has retained more details on the new Flip 6, which is a positive improvement. However, the overall picture has a yellow tint, which I don't like. This was a one-time scenario since it didn't happen in further samples. Here, for example, the picture from the Flip 6 is a bit darker, but my face is much more detailed. The Flip 5 is brighter, but the entire picture is softer, and there is much more noise, especially in the sky. In contrast to the front cameras, the Z Flip 6 primary camera appears brighter compared to its predecessor. Both look good, and I can't pick a winner in this particular sample. On the other hand, in this next scene, we can clearly see that the Flip 6 is not only brighter but also more detailed. All the lights on the tower are handled much better, while on the Flip 5, there are reflections all over the place. Now, I am starting to see a pattern with the Flip 6 consistently producing sharper images, while the pictures taken with the Flip 5 are always softer. This isn't a huge difference, to be fair, but it does indicate some improvements. In areas with plenty of light sources, both devices perform well. The Flip 5 sometimes struggles, as seen in a previous case, but overall, they take acceptable pictures. The new sensor of the Flip 6 is an improvement, but it isn't groundbreaking. Pictures taken with their ultra-wide cameras show a slight decrease in quality, with objects in the frame appearing softer. The Flip 6 performs a bit better here. If you look carefully at the right photo, you can see that the lights of the building are being reflected on the Flip 5, while this issue is absent on the new model. This wasn't just a one-time case. Even in this next scene, the sky is a total mess on the older device. The Flip 6 is sharper, the sky is well balanced, and the picture overall is more pleasing to the eyes. The new model does also make some mistakes, such as in this instance where parts of the purple lights appear completely white. This issue didn't occur with the older model. I believe these errors can be addressed with a future update on the new phone. In general, there are noticeable improvements with the ultra-wide lens of the Flip 6. The differences are primarily seen in light reflections and enhanced details. At 2x, both models perform surprisingly well, despite relying on digital zoom. The Flip 6 has slightly nicer colors and more natural details, but in this sample, even the Flip 5 looks good too. In this other sample, we can see that the Flip 5 is starting to fall behind, while the Flip 6 remains very sharp. The picture taken with the older model appears a bit soft. The Flip 6 wasn't always the better performer. In some samples, like this one, I actually prefer the picture taken with the older Flip 5. However, I think that in most cases, they were quite similar. So guys, what do you think? Some improvements are indeed made with the Z Flip 6. Its colors are slightly nicer and sharpness is a bit more balanced, but personally I wouldn't upgrade from the Z Flip 5 to the 6 only for its cameras. If you did enjoy this video, a thumbs up would be appreciated. Thank you for watching, and for more content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel.